I'm just going to start the podcast off like that because I'm looking at myself in the camera and I'm just smiling. And I had to tell you, no matter how many times you do this, it's still surreal to watch yourself in a camera. So somebody gave me some advice not too long ago, and they said, look at the camera lens, not at yourself in the video, which is a challenge in itself when you're trying to do it with your cell phone. But I'm getting better at it, and I'm grateful to be here again today. A few weeks have gone by since I put up an episode, and I'll tell you, that's just part of progression. Like, I don't have it all figured out in my life, as I don't think any of us do. And that's a big part of why I do this podcast, is to be real and to be vulnerable and to talk about things that are going on inside of myself. And many other people are associating with those feelings as well, because we're human beings and we feel similar things at times. And a very common thing that we feel is fear. And fear restricts us from being the humans that we are meant to be, to follow the journey and to be on the journey that we're meant to be on. Fear restricts us from seeing the gifts that the universe is trying to present with us, this living, this breathing thing that's here working for us in our favor in the name of love. Because, like, what is love? I don't know. Love to me is truth. It's honesty. It's an ability to speak your truth through difficult situations, to yourself and to other people. But if we follow love and we push past the fear, we understand that fear is just an obstacle that we have to get around in order to understand and appreciate the love, then that gives us the momentum to keep moving forward. And I mean, personally in my life, that's how I see it. That's how I do it. And I love it. And that becomes the objective and the goal for each day, is to grow more into love. That's self-love. It's an awareness. Self-love is an awareness of self and being conscious and taking steps in the right direction to grow that love within yourself. And for many of us, the biggest thing that doesn't allow us to grow into love is fear, because we're afraid to be ourselves. We're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what others think of us. That limits us from being the unique individual that we are here to be, because we are all unique individuals. We are a part of a collective consciousness, but we all bring something unique to that collective consciousness. And that's the wonderful thing about life, is the ability to have that perspective and see that you are special. You are important just who you are, because it's through that uniqueness that you bring something different to a collection of individuals growing into love. And it's through our unique journey that we're able to meet other unique individuals and share about incredible stories that we have that are called life. There is no good life, there is no bad life, there is no right life, and there is no wrong life. Life is life. It is a series of lessons and experiences cultivated through this interesting design of connection. Yet when we are not connecting, we are not growing. We're just on autopilot. Man, autopilot? Like, these days, wake up, go to work, eat shitty food, repeat. Wake up, go to work, eat shitty food, repeat. Like, we're not giving ourselves the attention that we deserve to grow into love, because externally, this external force has our attention. But I've been thinking about this. And yes, we live in a time where money is an aspect of life, of living. Okay, I can appreciate that. But what is work? Many, many, many of us are doing things every single day, doing the same thing every single day that we don't want to do, because we learn the job that we're there to do, and we get pretty good at it, and it's just kind of the same thing day in, day out. Or these days, we learn the job, and then more aspects of other people's jobs are put on one individual, creating an incredible amount of pressure on people, because we're taking the weight of somebody else's idea of purpose into our being. When really, I've kind of looked at the objective of work and what it's designed to do and how it can help us grow. Rather than go to work and go on autopilot each day, do the same things, say the same things, see the same people, try and learn from the people that you work with. Because, I mean, that's a big part of what keeps us in a job. It isn't the job. Definitely not. It's definitely not the job. It's the people. It's the people we work with, because that's human connection, right? We're all there. We're all making a paycheck, and we all don't want to be there. But we have an opportunity to grow while we are there. And that's a way you can look at your job that you don't want to do for very little amount of money that somebody doesn't appreciate you for. That's okay. That's happening, and that's going to happen, because that's the current design of the world. Wealth and greed are a big aspect of life. And because we know that, we have an opportunity to separate ourselves from that. So when we wake up and we go to work, we can look at work as an opportunity to grow within ourselves by understanding and connecting with the people around us on a different level. Rather than have surface level water cooler conversations, go a little deeper. Share a little bit about yourself. Talk about the things that hold you back. Don't fear judgment. Use these opportunities as a way to grow more into an understanding of yourself. That way you're learning something about yourself at work. You're not learning something about the job, because you'll learn that over time. You've got to do it for 40 years anyways, right? But if you are in a constant awareness of self and using the opportunities of day-to-day life to grow more into an understanding of yourself, you're going to set yourself free, because you're going to begin to build up confidence within yourself, and you're going to have more of a clear judgment of who you are. And once you know who you are, you're going to know what you want to do. You're going to break free from that job, because you're going to know that that job sets boundaries for you, an external boundary, not one that you are in control of, but you are, because you'll know with the confidence and the awareness that you have now given yourself by taking the opportunities to grow within your workplace, that you may need to spread your wings and go further from that place, because you'll trust yourself. And it's, that's real. That's absolutely real. And myself included, I'm not exempt from this. I still have to work. Yes, I have a construction company, but you know what? It isn't doing it for me anymore. I'm very free. I don't wake up on anyone else's time. And all of that is something that I've built, absolutely. But I've also known that this is not who I am. This is not how I want to be remembered. This is not what I want to do with my life. This is not the purpose that I have instilled in my life. I've found my purpose. And I've done that through an immense amount of practice and discipline in speaking my truth to myself first, and then to others around me. And the more I speak, and the more I speak like this, like I talk to you, and the people that I meet along the way, I know what I'm here to do. And when you know what you're here to do, oh my Lord, it changes. It changes. This whole thing changes, and it becomes so beautiful, because no longer are you trying to get to this destination of fucking retirement, man. Retirement? Like, whoever created this idea that we would rush through school to take in a bunch of information that we won't even use within a job that we have to be a part of for 45 years, and we get a max of 3 weeks vacation over that long-term commitment. What? What do you mean? I personally am not signing up for anything like that. I'm not giving you 45 years of my best life for a paycheck. No way, man. Purpose is love. It's finding the love within yourself, and it's understanding yourself and believing in yourself enough to go for it. Because when you believe in yourself and you've got purpose, nothing's going to get in your way. And I'm going to be real with you. The last 3 weeks, I have had a lot of changes in my life. Some very big things are happening for me. And I'm not going to lie to you, man, I got a little afraid, a little fear. I always say in this podcast, like, I have no fear, I have no anxiety, and no stress. I'm not exempt from anything, because as my journey unfolds and new and bigger, brighter things happen, it can bring on different emotions. And yes, fear was something that had stepped up in front of me. In the last 3 weeks, I have been observing this fear. And it's a part of life. Will it happen again in my life? Probably. Am I afraid of it? No. But do I try to understand fear and where it comes from and why it's there? Absolutely. I go deep within myself and I question where it comes from, why it's there, and what it's there to teach me with every aspect of the surfacing of fear in every situation. Many of us are living with fear, anxiety, and stress on a daily basis with every decision we make. So don't let that overwhelm you. You just start with one decision and deconstruct it. Because if you've got one big problem, well, the way to find the solution to a big problem is to deconstruct it into little problems. And then you can find solutions and you'll be building towards that greater understanding of the initial problem. That's how you arrive to a conclusion on an internal basis. So, myself included, I did that. And I had 3 weeks that I needed to understand myself on a deeper level. And I found it. I found the root, and it was a beautiful aspect to just really see myself. And I guess the root of my fear, I'll share this with you. I was in active addiction where no one saw me for like 23 years. Long time I wasn't seen. That doesn't mean I wasn't felt. People still felt my pain, and they still felt my presence, and absolutely I still had a soul within me that would admit love and light even when I was in a dark place. Please understand that happens. The darkness is not just filled with darkness. There's aspects of light, absolutely, constantly. That's what's there to try and bring you out. But because I hadn't been seen for so long, and all of a sudden I've had many people see me, and I've been offered an opportunity to speak about the things that go on inside me, and the way I see the world, and the way I see human beings. It was like that next level, like that step of maturity had come, but now it's a level of purpose, like that commitment to what you're going to do, and being the individual who believes in themselves to a point where they're ready to take on that challenge. Yeah, there's a bout of fear for that, for sure. There was in me anyways, and that's where it matters because it was inside of me. But I overcame it by accepting the challenge, trying new things, putting myself out there, and really knowing that my purpose here in life is to help the human race evolve into love. And I've given my life for that. And I will give my life for that. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that understanding and that connection. Now, this is the ability and the manner that I'm able to do it in because I've built it up this way. This is my journey. Like this is where I'm putting myself. This is where I want to go. But your purpose is for you to seek. But if you're on autopilot and you wake up every day and you're doing the same thing and you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you're going nowhere, that's because something's missing. Because money is not the answer. It's just a tool. It's something that we have been manipulated into thinking that if we achieve enough of it, we'll be exempt from fear, anxiety, and stress. But that is a misconception. We have many examples within life today with people with too much money, and they are not happy. Money doesn't set you free. It just allows you to A, buy materialism, or B, share it. And within this current state of society and the way we look at success and we define success, there's families on the planet right now with $1 trillion. And we have many children in many countries that can't eat, and they don't go to school, they're not educated, and they don't even have the ability to have that chance in life because some individuals have trillions of dollars and corporations have trillions of dollars, and they don't see that as being an acceptable manner of progression to share what they have, to share their wealth. So if that's the current state of society and we keep heading towards that destination of greed, power, and control within just a small select few individuals, well, equality will never come to fruition. And that's really where we're moving towards here. Like equality is the first thing we need to be having a conversation about. The second thing is education. And the third is sustainability, And all of this happens within you. Like this doesn't have to happen from an external perspective where we have to convince politicians and corporations and militaries and religions to find this inner peace within themselves. It isn't like that. It happens within you. Because if you can change the way you see the world, we can change the world. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm not the only one who's doing this. There's many other people who are doing this. I just share from an experience, from an authentic perspective, because I care. and I have nothing to hide. And it's because I have nothing to hide that I feel this immense amount of love for my brothers and sisters. And I'm able to lift the veil of this greed, power, and control society that we currently live in, and live in love. And yes, it's still going on around me. Absolutely. I can't change it overnight. But what I've changed is inside me. So I changed the way I perceive the world. So I've found the love. I mean, we can look to all the negatives that are happening. I mean, the television just is a constant funnel of negativity, of fear, anxiety, and stress. And you absorb that subconsciously. The constant day-to-day destruction, devastation, poverty, natural disasters, whatever it may be, you're absorbing that subconsciously. So you're training yourself to be afraid, and they're giving it to you. These media outlets, they offer you that information to consume from a negative perspective where we just focus on the problems. But if you shut that off and you start going within, you go to the outer limits of the inner self, you will find an abyss of love. And once you find that love by overcoming fear, you will want to share it, because that's the greatest thing in life that we can share. Now, with my life, money comes in and money goes out. For me, a bank account with too much money in it is a problem. That's a problem. And it is. It's an absolute problem. Because now I have more than others, making myself more valuable than my brothers and sisters. And for me, I'm so grateful for my journey of addiction, because it showed me that having less means that you give more. And that's such a wonderful place to be, to have that realization. And I don't have much in materialism. It's not for me. I don't wear brands. I don't have brand new cars. I don't have fancy things, because it's not for me. I don't need to find value in overpriced items that have no feeling inside of them. They're hollow to me, and I had to find that on my own. But I share about that because I would encourage you to do the same. I mean, let's be real. People idolizing a Gucci shoe, they're $3,000 and it's a shoe. And the funniest part about a Gucci shoe is that they pay $3,000 for it, and then they go to the sand, and the shoes don't go in the sand. So the human doesn't go in the sand because I'm wearing $3,000 shoes. They value the shoe and the money that went into the shoe versus the value of the exchange in human connection with Mother Nature. That's where I found myself. I found myself at that point in time where I'm able to witness those things and say, I don't need to be accepted by nobody. I don't need to be accepted for wearing expensive clothing or having an expensive car, because I am not my car. I am not the clothes I wear. I am not my job. I'm a human being. I am love. I am worth it. And I believe in myself. And my purpose is to help raise an awareness within my brothers and sisters so that they can share in the love as well, and we can change this thing. Now that is a beautiful place to be. So much better than retirement. I guess you ask me, I'm retired right now. Retired from the bullshit of everyday society, and that's a wonderful feeling. That's a wonderful feeling. It took me a while to find a tribe of individuals that had the same perspectives that I did, and felt the same way I did, and spoke the same language I did. Because what I'm speaking to you is a language. It's a language of love. And I know that it may be difficult to understand in the beginning, because the manipulation of the language of fear, anxiety, and stress is ingrained in us, and we've practiced it psychologically. So those psychological patterns of being afraid of everything, being afraid of ourselves, has become normal to us. It's detrimental to our growth, but it's normal, so it's safe because we know it, even though it hurts us. So this new language I speak to you about, this new earth, this new human, this new way of living is new. But I promise you, I use myself as an example. If you put the work in, you're going to find self-worth, and you're going to find value in you. And you're going to see that you carry this power that can't be taken away from you by nobody, because it's in you. And it's a part of you. And it's one we all possess. We all have it. And I think about this thing inside of me. And now I've found a tribe of people that have the same thing inside of them. And when we come together, I'm vibrating right now, because I just had a weekend with individuals who I connected with. I just found these individuals, or I was just brought into their presence, and it was so incredible to be around other human beings that have this same belief, this same power, this same vulnerability to talk about the things that held them back and the things that they went through because they found the light within it. And it's just an exchange of education and information and love. And it is the most incredible thing. And it's so beautiful. And I'm not going to stop until we all got it, because nobody's getting left behind. Nobody can. And I know some of you might say, like, how can these politicians that make these decisions that affect all these people or religions or governments or whatever it may be, they can't have a soul. They can't have love within them. Well, first off, we can't use the word can't, right? Because everybody can. Everybody can find the love with the right tribe, with the right movement, with the right momentum. The people that you surround yourself are the people that you become. So if you're hanging around people that aren't good for you, that are talking shit all the time, that value brands when they have no money, that don't understand what money's actually here for, move away from them. You got that choice to do that. And don't be afraid to be alone. You're going to be with yourself. You're never alone because you're always with you. You're just going to go deeper within yourself. And once you start going deeper in yourself, you're going to get to know who you are. And that's something we should have learned when we were very young. But this arrangement that they have designed for us of this hierarchy where money says we're better or less, or brands say we're cool or we're not, and we jump into a school where a bunch of individuals and a bunch of range of wealth in individuals kind of dictates that, separates us from ourselves at a very young age. So be witness to that if you're a child. And you don't need to be witness to it, because if you're a parent, you went through it too. School hasn't changed. It's been the same way the whole time, right? So if your kids are feeling a certain way, get real with them. Make a new tribe. Find individuals, find things, find people that can help them see things from a different perspective. If you can't share it with them, find people to help them, because that's your role as a parent. It's to guide them to the light. It's not to guide them to the best career where they can get the most money and they can take care of the family for the rest of their life. That's not what it's about. Your family is out here. Human beings, part of the human race. Like, that's your family. We're all one. Just because we live segregated in these little houses where some people have more and some people have less doesn't mean nothing. We've just been manipulated into thinking that that's what a family is, but that's not how it is. A family is a community of individuals, and we're all a part of that. And we all have that ability to tap back into it. And let me tell you, man, people are seeking. It's happening. This is an awakening happening. This is the end of something right now, because fear, anxiety, and stress has had its day on this planet for quite some time. We're in the end of something, because when something ends, something begins, and love is going to have its day. And I mean it. I can't tell you enough how much I know this, because it's in me. And I know that if it's in me, it can be in every single one of us. Doesn't matter what you went through. And another thing I want to share with you about your journey is, with whatever level of difficulty, whatever obstacle you faced, whatever you were here to learn, that's education. For me, it was addiction. It was many other things as well. But addiction was my real lesson here on earth, overcoming that ability to not be able to love myself. And I was able to do that. And I'm very grateful for it. But now I share about it because I went through it. So I went through something for 23 years and then I made it through. So for me, it's like, how could I go through all that and then not talk about it, not share about it, Show humans that we can come through whatever darkness we've been through to get to the light, and then share about it and help someone else. I mean, that's purpose. That's life. That's what we're here to do. If you ask me personally, that's what I believe education is. That's what allows the soul to grow. Because this destination of retirement that we're all headed for, with, current economic structures that are manipulated by greed, power, and control, they're not going to work forever. The reality of that situation is that many, 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 many people are going to have less. And a very, very small portion of people are going to have way too much. And that is something we have the ability to change, because we don't have to value any of that anymore. And we just turn our attention away from it and we create something new. It's a new earth. Think about the possibility if we all lived in love and peace. Don't allow fear to immediately dismiss what I just said. Think about it from your heart, not in your mind. Your mind's a mess right now, unless you're practicing mindfulness with yoga and meditation and many other outlets. But think about the possibility of education being free for everyone and shared, not through some hierarchy where you have to become a professor and your ideas are the only compartmental ideas that are acceptable within the classroom. No. All thoughts encouraged, all thoughts appreciated, all avenues explored. That's how we grow. That's how we ascend. We can't do this centralized around finance. Geez, finance just incurs more finance for a small portion of people, right? Where education allows many ideas to come to fruition, where we can have sustainability. We can have as many people as we do have on this planet, and we can make it work, for sure. We need to educate the people in every country so everyone knows farming practices to take care of their own people within that place. That doesn't mean we have to be confined to that place, because we can travel around. Knowledge is meant to be shared and distributed. And as humans, we are tribal nomadic people. We're meant to move around. So we're meant to take in different parts of the world and share information in different parts of the world. This is the collective. This is the consciousness. This is how we grow. And I'm telling you, this is going to happen. I'm there. I want to talk about it. That this is real. This is so real. Something new. A new way of life, something where human beings are one. We all care about each other because we have compassion, we have sympathy, we have empathy. The masculine and feminine is equal within each other. Women are just as valuable as a man. They have different aspects that they see from their perspective with compassion and sympathy, and empathy is something that can teach a man much about those aspects of life. It's a yin and yang. It's two halves of one whole. The current state of society that we live in says that women are less. I don't get that. I don't get it. And I know you don't get it either. So the fact that we need to have these conversations, but not just have them, finance has to be eliminated from this. Powers of control have to be eliminated from this. I mean, we can't move forward thinking that certain religions that are man-made can dictate that a woman is less when a man can't be here without a woman. You know what I mean? That doesn't even make any sense. And we know this. So the fact that we practice man-made ideologies that control and oppress people doesn't work. And I know you know this. But it's scary to look at these kind of things, and it's scary to talk about them. Because it means the whole world's going to change. And yeah, that's what it means. The whole world's going to change. Because we need to wake up to this. We keep progressing this way. We put profit on natural resources when man has a poison inside of his mind for power and greed. This isn't good. When greedy people get their hands on natural resources, they don't know when to stop. And we're seeing that, the current effects of where we're at right now. Let's be real. But sit with this. Sit with this. Don't allow your mind to dismiss it and make up excuses or put you into that place of fear again. Open your heart. It's happening, and it's okay. I want you to know that. Where we're at right now in time, we're meant to be here. It had to go here. This is how we move forward. Even with myself. I went through all that. I lost my children. I went to jail. Yeah, that was a bottom. That was a human bottom. And then everything changed. Because I was willing to accept the love within myself. I found some spirituality. Because spirituality is free, and it's however you perceive it. It's not religious based. It can't be somebody else's ideology. You have to arrive at spirituality on your own terms so you value and respect it, and most of all, you understand it. Because spirituality is just love. That's what it is. And love is just meant to be shared. It's connection, it's trust, it's respect, it's communication, it's empathy, it's sympathy, it's compassion for everyone. There is no less. There is no more. Everyone just is. And we grow together. And we're going to get there. I had a moment where I was just thinking about it. I was like, fuck, every time I think about it, I'm like, man, I got to keep doing this. Because I'm telling you, we're going to get there. Like this is going to happen, but begins with ourselves first. And I wanted to talk about retirement because I think it's a joke. And I know you know it's a joke too. To do the same thing every single day, that's ridiculous. Like imagine a guy who's painting like apartment buildings. He's got to go into an apartment building every day for 45 years and paint the same walls. Maybe a different color. Oh shit, man. Never mind going postal. I'm not sure if all of you have ever heard of the analogy, like going postal, because postal workers, there's been cases where they have, broken under pressure and lashed out towards society. I figured it should be changed to like he's gone painter. I don't know. I've done painting too, so it's so repetitive. Like it's just repetitive, right? But anything is that we're doing like that because it isn't our purpose. It's somebody else's, and their purpose is to make money. But that's not what this is. That's not what life is. Don't let anybody teach you that. There's so many things online where guys are trying to teach you how to be successful, make all the money, make all the money. Listen, I got lots of friends with lots of money. And they don't know when enough's enough because they get good at making money. And then that's the thing they get good at. They don't try new things because they get compartmentalized in this idea of making money because the people they surround themselves with are all making money. And that's acceptable. And it's acceptable to look at other people that have less as less. That's unacceptable. So really be aware of what society is trying to teach you is the definition of success. Because if you're wasting your time and you're putting your energy into all these avenues that are trying to get you to grow money and grow money and grow money, man, grow yourself first. Know who you are. If you know who you are and you find love within yourself because you do the work, you're not going to need that kind of success. You won't need it. You'll be wealthy. Bob Marley said, I met a lot of poor people in life and all they had was money. I love Bob Marley. He was a man of action. He was a man of freedom. And he spoke his truth. And I'm so grateful that he was here. And he's not the only one. There's so many artists that bring the awareness of love to humans. Art frees the soul, but artists free the world. And if you're an artist, don't give up. Put everything you have into your craft because the love that you put into the things that you make, people appreciate and they feel. These production line materialism that they create today is just so everyone can look the same and have the same things when artists make something unique for an individual, of an individual. It's of their creation and they share that creation with others. It's beautiful. And don't think that you're not an artist if you can't draw. Because you know what? They told me that in school. I remember that. Art class, like grade 6 or 7. I was never really good at drawing. I'm not going to lie about that. I was still kind of drawing potato people in like grade 6. I knew I really wasn't giving enough attention to understanding line work within a paper. My mind was in other places. But because I even attempted it, I was dismissed within a classroom of children because my pictures were not realistic from the art teacher's perspective. And that stayed with me. And that held me back in my understanding of what it meant to be an artist. But let me tell you, an artist is creative. And human beings are here to create in any form. I mean, it can come through food. It can come through the organization of a bookshelf. It can come through anything that you create with your hands in your heart. That's what it means to be an artist. Free your soul, spend time on yourself. Alleviate yourself from the monotony of the everyday at work. Go to work to learn something about yourself. Give them 30% for the job. Good Lord. You've got to give yourself more attention. And I know that work is consuming so much of our time that we've got to use that opportunity on their time to work on ourselves. And that's the truth. You got to use this time to grow within yourself on their time. That's beautiful. I would encourage that. I'm absolutely encouraging that because you're in a place where you can connect with humans and you can connect with yourself. I mean, let's be real. You know the job anyways. And if you've got too much stress and pressure from work, like many people I know, they're not getting paid enough. So whatever, maybe that job's not for you, right? If it's taking too much of yourself and it's pushing you deeper away from yourself, then let it go. Go get something else so you can recenter yourself. Oh, you might lose all that materialism you have? Yeah, you might. To find yourself. Like value. What do you value? You value your stuff, which you can't take with you, you leave behind? Or do you value the work that goes on inside of you to know who you are so you can leave that behind? I mean, a valuable life is one that's continued to be talked about after it's gone. And it helps people learn and grow in a positive manner. That's a valuable life. All the shoes, all the shit, all the clothes, all the boats, all this, whatever, man. It don't mean nothing if you got nothing in your heart, right? If you've got all this stuff, if you get titles, like even titles, like if you're a doctor and you're an asshole, you'll be remembered as an asshole. Like it's just a reality, right? Like it doesn't matter what you do, it's who you are in any situation. So really embrace that, cultivate it within you. Know that you're worth it and make a choice to do something different. Please, like enough is enough, right? And you don't have to be at any point in your journey to think it's too late. Even if you got children, man, I meet so many people that got kids and they're like, it's too late for me, I got kids. It's like, what? What do you mean? If anything, you've got teachers. You've got teachers that can teach you an aspect of stillness, of mindfulness, of creativity, of imagination. Oh, good Lord. Like, please, if you're an adult and you've lost your imagination, go hang out with some kids. Kids are just so brilliant with the things that they come up with and the ideas from a childlike perspective. And let me tell you something else. Like this new earth with education, there's going to be so many teachers for children to grow within themselves first. Like allow them to understand feelings and understand experience and understand education and be able to share whatever they have with others around them. There is no structure. There is no routine. There is no boxes. You know what I'm saying? It's free because knowledge and information, when given the ability to be free, flows. And it gives us so many new perspectives and awareness. I mean, think about it. Like even the education system, it's like, why are we not encouraging everyone to go to school? Doesn't it make more sense for everyone to be educated so we can have intelligent people to come up with new ways to help the world heal? I mean, rather than putting all of our faith into entities that value greed, power, and control, like that doesn't seem like a good idea to me. And I know it doesn't seem like a good idea to anyone else. So let's stop with this, right? Like we've got to, but you've got to stop with that within yourself. Like never mind the external world; it's going to move the way it does. The only way we can do it is change it within. But really, I believe in you. I believe in you. I really do. I believe in every single one of us. It's just overcoming the fear and knowing that we're worth it. And if you got to walk to the bathroom mirror and look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself you're worth it and tell yourself you believe in yourself every 5 minutes, do it. And if people in the house are questioning what you're doing, be the example. Show them that you're worth it because you've believed in yourself. I promise you, you start practicing that type of behavior, it's going to change. Your mentality is going to change. The way you vibrate, the frequency you emit, the food you take in, the things you do, the people you hang around with, the things you consume are going to change. And you value love, love will only lead you in a positive direction. It'll only take you to the place of awareness of shared connection through positivity. It's so beautiful. And I'm so grateful for this knowing, and I'm so grateful for this understanding, and I'm so grateful to have this ability to share about it. So forgive me, 3 weeks goes by, but these are the things that I do within my life. And I talk about them because I know the value in them. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy, man. It's not. It's hard. It's fucking hard. It's hard. It is. I won't lie to you. But I like hard things. Not all the time, but I like hard things. I do. It teaches me more about myself, and it stays with me. It stays with me. You create a new DNA code for yourself. New patterns, new belief systems. They're of your own thinking. And they're of your own doing, so you value the results and you value the rewards. That's self-worth, that's self-love, and that's value. And who isn't looking for that? Everyone's looking for that externally from themselves, but you don't need to find it there. That's the misconception. You're not going to find it within clothing. You're not going to find it within sleeping with 50 different guys. Like, you're not going to find that. You're going to know when somebody sees your self-worth the same way you value yourself. And when that individual comes into your space, there's going to be an understanding between individuals. So there won't be this need to please. Everyone wants to please so they can be accepted. Not everyone, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really how we kind of unfold within our lives. And we don't have to do that. You can accept yourself, and then you will see that other people accept you for who you are. Good Lord. And that's so beautiful. Think about that. Like, chilling with people that are hanging out with people and being around people that value you for you, no matter what that means. You can talk about the things that happen within your life on a day-to-day basis so you can process them and grow them. Like, you're not burying anything. You're not hiding anything, because you don't have to hide from yourself. So you're put yourself out there to share with other people, to hear their perspectives and gain the information, because there's trust and there's communication and there's respect. And these things all happen when you go within yourself first and you step up to fear. And you deconstruct that into small solutions. Don't look at the problems. Find the solutions. Find ways to overcome the things that hold you back. Most of it's emotional traumas. And most of them stem from our childhood. And as you all know that I speak of highly, is that emotional traumas are not just sexual and physical abuse. They can be neglect. They can be abandonment. They can be it can be an inability to communicate about emotions. It can be anything that is emotionally traumatic to that individual, unique for that individual. Nobody has to tell you that your emotional trauma isn't a trauma, because it's traumatic to you. So you don't need anyone to validate that for you. You can validate that within yourself, but you've got to be your own warrior. You got to go within. You got to fight, because we are all warriors and we are here to fight. But the fight is not external from us. It's within. And the fight is to overcome the barriers and boundaries that have been set up by ourselves through a manipulation of somebody else's ideas and agendas. But you go within yourself and you recreate belief systems and patterns, and you find love. It's there. It's there in every single human. I know it. It's there. You know it. It's just not something that we've given a lot of attention to. But good Lord, it's time. It is absolutely time for us to move into the new earth, a new beginning, where human beings, part of the human race, living with love. Like, let's just work together. There's never been a need greater right now than to come together. But we can't come together unless we come together within ourselves first. And then we will come together, because we can come together. I know we can. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. If you're listening to this, like, I just put this stuff out there because it's on my heart, and I share about my heart, because I'm not speaking to your mind, man. That's not what this podcast is. This podcast speaks to your heart, and that's the only place I want to speak to, because your heart has a mind and it's listening to everything that I'm saying. But it's up to you to take the information and do what you will with it. I can't tell you what to do, and I can't change you. All I do is share from experience, and that's what this is. And when I bring guests on, they're going to share from their experiences, because I want you to hear other people's stories. I want you to hear how they share about them, so it encourages you to share within your story, about your story to other people and educate some people, because that's what it's about. You don't have to pay a bunch of money to get a degree to educate yourself or educate people. Take the things that are truly valuable that happened to you and held you back within your life, and share them with those people that are in the same situation or head into the same situation. That's parenting as well. So I love you, parents, for being good parents and not instilling fear, anxiety, and stress into your children, because they don't need that. They're pure love. Learn from them. I absolutely love each and every one of you, and I'm so real, man. Like, I mean, I've just accepted that, that to be real is the only thing I know, and the only thing I want to be, and the only thing I practice. So if you know people that are trying to be real or trying to grow, please do not hesitate to share my stuff. I'm just one person that's sharing from an experience. There's many other people that are doing it as well. Whatever works for you, wonderful. But if this works for you and you think it can work for somebody you know, please share it. That's what this information is about. That's why I do these tools. I'm going to tell you, social media is very difficult for me. Very difficult. Like, I'm not about it. It's so tough for me to spend time on there, but I know that it's a tool that I have today to distribute information and knowledge and shared experience. So it's something that I have to get good at, and I do value that, and I do put time into it. And I know now that I'm making some moves in the next months of my life to take the next step and go all in on this. And all in on this is all in on you, because I've found the love and I cultivate the love within myself, and now it's time for me to share it on a much bigger level, because I know the power of connection, and I know the power of love, and I want it for everyone. So I love you all, and I love you for sitting in your darkness. I love you for sitting in emotions. Good Lord, if you're sad, sit with tears, it'd be okay with it. It's cool. It's really cool. I met a couple on the weekend that I'm going to have on the show here in the next couple weeks, and they both bring a journey and experience, and one's going to share from the divine masculine, one's going to share from the divine feminine, and I'm going to teach you and share about that from perspective. So extremely grateful for that. So that's what's coming, and I'm centered, and I've accepted my purpose, and I've overcome the fear of what is to be, and I'm so grateful for it because I feel so free. Shit, you feel free, man, when you get over that. It's like, wow, like I did it. That's the thing. It's like I did it, And please, yoga, meditation, breath work, these are tools of stillness and mindfulness. You don't have to become some idea of what it means to be practice yoga or practice mindfulness or practice breath work. It's for you to cultivate that through discipline and practice, and you'll value the results and rewards of who you become on your own terms. So please don't sway into anyone else's idea of what that means to practice yoga, meditation, and breath work, because that's personal for you, as is everything. So be aware of that. My social media is Real Talk for an Unreal World. That's the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And TikTok is something that I'm really chopping up clips for, because I really like to grow the TikTok account, simply just because there's so many freaking people that are glued to this thing. And I think if I can just inject positivity and inject some cool aspects of the clips of the podcast, and just give somebody something to think about throughout the day that's going to help them grow, I really love that distribution. It's the age group on there. Shit, I got to learn about this stuff. And I have been learning about this stuff because it's important to me. But the age groups is a wide variety on TikTok, whereas Facebook's has got a different demographic. So I kind of just am trying to explore new things. And good Lord, you got to upload to 5 different sites every day. It's kind of just monotonous, but I know I got to value it, which I do. So I do it. But yeah, TikTok's great. Real Talk for an Unreal World. TikTok's not great. Wait a minute. Fucking TikTok's not great. TikTok's pure shit. Pure poison. But it is a tool that I can use to inject some positivity. I just want to make that clear, because I don't advocate for none of that. If you got rid of all your social media accounts, beautiful. Just listen to a podcast here and there, or taking a YouTube clip, whatever it is for you. But good Lord, get off the other stuff. It's just waste of time, waste of energy. And think about all the energy and time that you put into social media. Imagine you did that working on yourself. Often we just don't know where to begin. So the earlier episodes, I have shared from experiences of practices that I've taken within my life to go within. And as we progress with this podcast, more and more tools are going to become available to you from different perspectives and different experiences and different people. So be prepared for that. This podcast isn't going anywhere. If anything, I'm going to grow it to be one of the biggest ones, only because I do not value money. I value the evolution of mankind into love. That's why it's going to grow. And I think that's cool. And I think that's something to work towards, that I truly value, because it gives value to my brothers and sisters. So you know what I'm saying? That's a job, right? I got to do it. Is it going to give me money? For sure. But does it help people? And is it one that I have chosen to do on my own because I know who I am? Yeah. That's it. Don't think that you can't get to that place too, because you can. If you say can't, there's a can. You know what I mean? Every time. If there's something you can't do, trust me, you can do it. Anything. So I value that. My Twitter is real talk the number 4 unreal. I've been putting some cool little quotes up. I'm trying to be better with that, and because I think about these little quotes or philosophies or whatever, and I guess Twitter is a kind of a cool place where you can just write and put some writing up, and it's my writing is something that I'm practicing more and more because I got a book coming out soon, so we're gonna get to that, which is great. And the most important thing is my email, realtalkforanunrealworld at gmail.com. If you're within an organization that is looking to have somebody come and talk to people that are in a situation, hit me up, please, because I'm available for this, and this is where I'm moving to, and I've got some big things happening for me. So I'm going to put that out there right now, but we're going to talk more about that as we go. So I appreciate every single one of you for being here and for choosing to come back at this time, man. Because to come back at this time, shit, it's not easy. You know? It's not easy. It isn't. It's not meant to be because we stepped up for it. Because it's the end of something. And it's the beginning of something new. So it's very challenging for everyone, but you all chose to be here and you all chose to take on the task of evolving into love and creating something new for our brothers and sisters to come, that an experience, and for all of us to grow into a higher density. So much love. I appreciate you so freaking much. And thank you for working on yourself. And thank you for being here. Truly, man. Thank you so much.